Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, where we have the update for the EAHORA Ultra Romeo 2. It's sitting right behind me, right here. It is working. There's a lot of things going on, but first, let's address some stuff from the other video. So obviously, I was just riding it really quick, and it completely just turned off. We were almost doing 50 miles an hour, somewhere around there, and it just completely shut off. I have no idea why. We weren't too far. We pulled into the neighborhood. When I went through the settings and started changing a bunch of stuff, my mile per hour was at 62 miles an hour or 61, and I accidentally forgot to switch it out of 1 because I started playing with those numbers, and 2 or 3 of you caught that, and I didn't catch that myself. So that's my fault, and thank you guys for paying attention because I did go back to the settings afterwards after I disconnected everything on the bike and reconnected it. And so far, so good. But I want to go through the update of what the company said because they were supposed to get back to me on email, and I've been waiting for a response, and they finally got back to me. So let's go over that really quick. So I sent them an email that says, I was riding my bike today and the power just cut off. Looked at all the connections underneath the seat, under the sleeve cables, front connections all good, motor cables all connected, not damaged. Got it back home. Power will come on for a brief second and then stop even when the throttle is down. The pedal assist does not work either. Not sure what the issue is, question mark. And this is the response I was waiting for. This is back in May 5th. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Could you please send a video that you mentioned before with all these issues? Basically, that's what they're asking. They want to see a video of this. This will help our engineers identify the issue. Thank you for your cooperation, and I look forward to your response. So I got back to him. I said, I can record a video for you. I did send them a link. You could probably check out that same link. It's still up on my YouTube page. It's just unlisted. So if you guys want to watch that video of what I sent to them showing the issue. And then after I sent them the video, it took them 1 day to get back to me. They said, hey, Jonathan, please try to connect the motor wires to the front controller to the rear motor and try whether the rear motor can work normally. If it still doesn't work, try the power assisted mode, then give us some feedback. Then I said, okay, I will try that. Then after that, I said the front motor and rear motor do the exact same thing. It will work for a brief second and then cut off, then give about 50 watts of power and barely roll free spinning at 3 miles an hour. Then it will come to 2 miles an hour. This could have been an issue with the speed on the bike, but keep in mind, it still had an issue before I even started going into the settings when I had to pull over. I don't know what happened with the bike to begin with. Even when pulling and holding the throttle down, it just stays at 0%, or 0 miles per hour, I should say. Both motors will have the same issue after swapping the cables around. So I did mess around with it and it did exact same thing. They said, yes, this should be a problem with the controller. Please send us your motor code and the controller tag pictures. We will send you a new controller. And after that, I took off the seat, I exposed the controllers, I took some pictures for them, and I also took a picture of the motor, the QR code, and all that stuff that's on there because I gotta make sure they get the right parts for this bike because they make so many different ones. They wanna make sure they're compatible and they don't have any issues. They said, thank you for your feedback. We will send you the new controller ASAP. Now, some updates on that is that I still haven't got the controllers yet. I'm still waiting for them. So it kind of sucks it's taking this long, especially if you were to buy this bike. Unfortunately, I didn't have to buy this bike, but if I bought it myself, I'd be really disappointed if I had no other bikes to ride. But in my case, I have a bunch to ride. This was actually one of my favorite bikes compared to the Anioki because these are the 2 big bad boys that I have in my garage. They're really made for range. I was actually gonna take the EAHORA on a trip over to Avenue 15. We're gonna go in the big hills. I was gonna ride it just like my friend rode the Anioki, and I rode the Super 73 because they're the only 2 bikes I had for good range other than the Sur-Ron, but I was a little worried about taking the Sur-Ron because all the crackdowns in California. But anyways, that's not what you guys are here for. I ended up taking the seat off. I wanna show you guys. I actually put most of the bike together. So after you take the seat off, it kind of looks like this, and there's this bracket right here, and you might see that it's really bent, and that's because this is completely just locked in there. I mean, I tried everything. I just could not get that off. It was starting to strip, so I said, you know what, screw it, left it on, pulled this one out, and I bent the whole bracket up and just slid it out of the way because one of the controllers is right here, if you can see it. The other controller, it is pretty tight in there. They do have some sticky stuff on the side. It's kind of sticky. It almost feels like gum in a way. And you can see the controller right there. So our controller says 60 volts, 41 amps, rated current 20 amps, and our low voltage protection is 44 volts, And our throttle adjusted voltage is 1.2 volts to 4.4 volts. So that's gonna basically tell this on how much it's pulled back and everything like that to give it power. So that's where your controllers are at. So I disconnected all of that. And then you come down here and you're supposed to have some sleeve cables right here. And you can see that we have some XT90s. These are nice big plugs. They were also taped as well. So this is electrical tape on this side. Well, you can see this one a little bit better. So electrical tape right here, electrical tape up here, but these were also covered in electric tape. I actually got a razor blade and cut these. And then they were also electric taped together. Like both of these were side by side and taped together. So there's no way that these would come disconnected. So all I did is unconnect them, reconnect them. I even switched them and I ended up turning the bike on. And surprisingly, the rear motor worked. I actually went into the settings and I did see that this was changed from 62 miles an hour to 1 mile per hour like you guys caught in the other video. But I ended up resetting the whole entire bike. I reset the display and everything. So what I want to do, it's been a while, it's been a few days because we just had to review a few bikes and everything like that. So I'm going to turn it on. Let's make sure it turns on first. There we go. EAHORA, and we're in the rear motor. You can see the rear motor right there. I'll make sure I get it off the ground so it doesn't go anywhere. Make sure the kickstand is going to stay up there because the kickstand is very long, and if you push it too far forward, it will fall off the kickstand. Make sure. So let's go up to 5. Let's slowly get into it. Oh. What's going on with this now? No power at all. Oh, okay, hold on. We have to hold the brake, that's right. Oh. It is on my jeans. Okay, there we go. It's moving. There we go. Little by little. It will keep going, guys. It will definitely go to almost 60 miles an hour free spinning. And you can see this motor's moving. I forgot that you have to hit the brakes on this bike to get it working. And again, you guys might be thinking, oh, you didn't hit the brakes, you didn't do this and that. Go back and watch the original video when this thing broke down on me. I have no idea why, and I've really been scared to take it. So what I'm basically doing is waiting for the company to send me some controllers. And by the way, I also took all this off too. So I first went through all these. I disconnected every single one of these. I also pulled this back to make sure there's no connection right here. But I also took this apart. You don't need to take that apart. All it does is hold these cables so they're not sticking out and hitting the fender or hitting the tire. That's all it is. And then I also took this off on the other side. And don't mind the RC cars. We're going through a garage makeover right now. So I took off these Allens. I think there's another one behind here. There we go. This you cannot take off without actually taking off the crank arm, but I did get enough space to pull this off, push it over to the side. I looked down here. There's not any connection through here. All it's made for is all these cables right here to come through the bike, run all the way down, run to this, then run up the front of the bike, and then it comes up this way, and then that's when it comes out and it goes to your motor up here. And I technically need to zip tie this a little bit better. I actually need to put it probably behind here, but this was just a quick fix. I still need to cover all this stuff up because like you can see everything's exposed. This was all taped originally and zip tied. So what was originally there was this right here. It is some, it looks like heat wrap shrink. But yeah, this is what was on the cables. It was 2 of these and then all these other screws right here. This is for the seat. So that's why I've had a mess on my table for the last couple days, is because I didn't want to put this bike back together until I made sure it worked. And what we're gonna do right now is I'm going to take a chance and I'm gonna go ride it around the area. We're gonna put it in the front motor, we're gonna put it in the rear motor, we're gonna put it in both motors. And let's see if this thing goes any farther than it did last time. Let's see if we can get like 5 miles on the bike or so and see if it's actually fixed or not. I'm not gonna bolt the seat down. All I'm gonna do is pick this seat up like I am right now. There you go, put this bad boy on just like that. And we should be okay. Might have a little rise to it. It's all right. I gotta probably push that controller down underneath there. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. So let's go take this thing out for a spin and see if this thing is working before they actually send us the controllers. And then we'll talk about it a little bit more. All right, so here we go, guys. Mode 1. I mean, it's moving on its own power on mode 1. We're at 104 watts. It's kind of funny to go through these bikes in lower modes. I mean, they barely move in mode 1. That's 7 miles an hour It's crazy. I don't think I can really stay at this speed any longer. That is god-awful slow. But this is a rear motor only, and now level 2, that's giving us some good power. That was like 1,500 watts, and then it started peaking at about 600, 700. It's not doing too bad. It's like this bike didn't even have an issue. It's like it was in the beginning. But I'm afraid to ride this bike now. And here's Mode 3. We got 1,700. I saw 1,807 watts on here. 007. Oh, I love that this one has good brakes. Compared to the Anioki, man, we had way too many issues with the brakes on the Anioki. This one is working. So the issue happened on this bike when we were going max speed. So, gonna max it out at 5. Rear motor only first, and then we'll switch over to the front. But I just want to see what the rear motor will do. Let's just see if we have any issues. Again, once you always have a problem with one of your bikes or cars or anything like that, your battery dying, your alternator going down, ow, a bug just hit me right in the face, is you always constantly think about that. It's always constantly on your mind, like, oh my God, is this gonna happen again? And it always worries you. So every time I'm gonna ride this bike from here on out, it worries me. And it's also affected me selling this bike as well, because everyone's like, isn't there an issue with this bike? I'm like, apparently it's already fixed. It fixed itself, but I would wait until the company sends me a controller so you can have some backup controllers. And honestly, my idea, I feel like we're hauling ass too on one motor, that's crazy, is I would wait until I have both controllers, wear my backpack and keep the controllers with me and keep all the connections loose and the seat loose, or the tools for the seat, so then I can switch out the controller if I have an issue. Like right there, I felt like I just had a power cut. I don't know why. I mean, we're still hauling ass. Maybe it's just because I was turning or something like that. Going uphill, I'm not sure. Again, I'm just really worried about this bike. So I think what we got to do now, we got to go in the front motor. Let's see what the front motor can do. So to switch over to the front motor, you got to hit the headlight button. It's so funny. There we go. Front motor is moving under its own power. Yep, no issues. We're getting 2,200 watts, 2,300 watts. I mean, what happened to this bike? Like, seriously, what happened to this bike? And it wasn't dead at all, folks. It was completely charged. Right now, it's at 65 volts. I did pop it on the charger really quick just to see if it was like a BMS cutout on the battery or something, but it was still turning on, so that wouldn't really be the case, but it just, I started trying everything. I'm gonna switch to both motors. There we go. Holy shit, I forgot how fast this bike is. If you want the faster of the two bikes and you're thinking between the Anioki A9 Pro Max and this thing is way faster. Even though it is 200 pounds and the Anioki is 170. I mean, this thing, man, I am moving. I let off right there. That wasn't the bike cutting off. This is quick. If a squirrel comes running out in front of me, I don't think I can stop in time. I mean, it has good brakes. The brakes are working compared to the Anioki, but still, this is way too fast. Way too fast, and it is not letting up. It feels like it wants to keep going. God, I love this bike. Oh, I'm so worried about letting my friend ride this bike if we go on another trip and we get left stranded, but I mean, I guess it would make for a good video for you guys, not for us. But I think my buddy is really gonna like this thing over the Anioki. The only thing I'm really feeling a difference between the Anioki and riding it is that this seat is horrible. This seat is way worse than the Anioki. But I feel more lower to the ground. The center of gravity feels better. It just feels like a better bike in general to ride. And I need to stay on this throttle because I really want to see if we can imitate the same problem. Like, what happened? Because you guys might be having the same exact issue that I had, and then really upset that you purchased an EAHORA product and you're telling everyone else not to spend, you know, $35,000 to $4,000 on the bike. I totally get it. I would do the same thing if I spent my hard-earned money. Like when I bought the Lyric Graffiti X, I bought that bike myself. And when I was the only person, the only reviewer to break that bike, I was a little worried because I bought it myself, but I was just testing out the prototype, and I'm like, I hope you guys fix this. So that's why I put everything out there. I try to be unbiased. I try to be real as hell. I know it comes off different than a lot of other YouTubers, and I'm not trying to diss these companies. I'm not trying to say anything bad about EAHORA or Anioki. I'm just going off the feedback that everyone knows, and I'm just seeing how the stuff performs for me and how the company's getting back to me as well. I could be totally wrong that I'm an influencer. They might get back to me better than you guys would, you know? I'm not sure. Make a U-turn right, and dude, this bike takes off so damn fast. Holy crap. It's like there was never an issue. I think what I'm gonna do is I wanna make another video on this bike, and I do wanna ride it. I wanna ride it decently far, and I'm gonna leave everything off the way I have it right now. I think I'm gonna leave the seat bolted because I can get to the seats with like a 10mm Allen, or no, a 10mm socket, I'm sorry. And then, I don't know, we'll just figure it out. But dude, I can't believe how fast I'm going past traffic. This bike is phenomenal. And it has the tires to match. I have no fix-a-flat in these tires, and I trust them to hell. Like, I really think these tires are hands down, like, really, really good. And I'll tell you guys all day to buy this over the Anioki A9, even though I've been riding the shit out of the Anioki. My buddy has too. He loves it. He loves the big bike. Everyone's been loving the big bikes. I really want to see if I can take this thing to work, because this thing is badass. But if I break down, I'm gonna have to call work and tell them, hey, I'm stranded. Then that's gonna be another deduction point for EAHORA, and I'm not gonna be happy at that point if I have another issue with this and I see that it's not a motor, you know, connection or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel about it. All right, let's haul ass. Let's go, baby. Woo! God, hey, we hauling ass. I love it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what to do. Drop a comment and let me know if you guys had any issues with EAHORA or Anioki or any other bike out there that's been a controller issue, and if you solved it yourself. All these companies are going to ask you to send a video about what the issue is so they can diagnose it, because you can't just say my controller is not working and you kind of tell them the symptoms and they're going to send you a controller right off the bat. It could be a controller, it could be the battery. They want to see it for themselves because they build these bikes. They'll understand it if you send them a straight up like video. Most of my videos explaining the issue is about 3 to 5 minutes, and I just kind of walk through like, okay, look, the bike's doing this. I tried doing this and this didn't fix this. And they're like, oh, okay, sounds good. Because these tires are built really good, I'm gonna go through this. What the hell? What the helly? Why you honking at me, bro? You like my bike or what? You like my bike? Whoa, what happened? What happened? Whoa, hold on. Hold on, EAHORA. What's going on? Hold on, I'm holding the brakes. Oh, maybe I didn't hold the brakes good enough. Ow. What the heck? I think it was me right there. I didn't hold the brakes long enough. I thought it broke again. Oh my God. Oh, what a wild day. What a wild day. I am not about to pedal this back home again, but maybe I'll take it to work again. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. I think I need to tighten something up front. Oh, the motor cable. That's what's shaking up there. I got to definitely tighten that thing. And I want to see if this light will pick me up. I think it's on a timer, so we should be good. There we go. All right. I'm glad I got that early because I forgot that I was going to have to hold the brakes again. And then people that were behind me, which technically no one was behind me right there, they would have been waiting for me. Like when you kill your car, you know, a stick-shift car, that's what it feels like, or on your bike where you don't get the clutch good enough. But look at this, look how fast we're going. What the heck, man? Oh my God, this puts a smile on my 51 miles an hour. Are you shitting me? Fantastic bike when it works. I'm not gonna hate it if it was just a fluke and there was a random issue with the bike. I'm not sure. We were only on it for 2 minutes when that happened, so it couldn't have overheated. It was like a 70-degree day. So I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys are the true MVPs of this channel. Don't forget, I said this 3 times already. Drop a comment. Drop a comment. Oh, and by the way, we did 5.6 miles and our top speed was 50.94, baby. Let's go.